Hi, and welcome back to another pro user interview. My name's Kevin, and I'm running a sequence of interviews with pro Zenler users to really delve into how different people and different industries are using some or all of the features within the new Zenler platform to really build their business, sell more courses, and engage with their audience. And today, I'm really pleased to say that I've got Prathamesh with me. So hi and welcome to the Pro User Interviews.
Hello, Kevin.
So good to see you here. So for those that are unfamiliar with you, do you want to just let us know a little bit about yourself and what it is that you teach, please?
So I run my own web development agency, and in order to teach people how to develop websites on their own, I started my own course, and I'm using New Zenler to sell my web development course, basically how to build your website in WordPress. So
Excellent.
that's not silly.
Okay. So how did you get into web development? Where did it start for you?
So it started about 10 years ago. Actually, I was forced into the field. I was a marketing person. My boss told me to, look after the web development project. It didn't go well, so I learned it myself and then, went into web development. Now it's been a decade now. I'm into web development.
And that's quite a common story for people that go into web development. They learn it. They have a period of time where they learn and research and go on courses themselves to learn it and then test and develop to the point where they become quite good at it. And therefore you become someone that can actually teach somebody else, which is great. And of course, WordPress, as we know, is one of the, if not the most popular platforms for websites now.
Right.
Which is fantastic. Okay, so you decided you was going to build and sell a course to train people how to build WordPress sites. How did you come across New Zenler and what made you get involved?
So honestly, I was registered on old Zenler platform to start
Wow.
with. And then the name was always there. And I jumped from one platform to another platform. And for some or other reason, I was not able to, hold on to single platform. But then when I found that New Zenler has launched, and basically it covers all the aspects that I want with. I want to use email marketing extensively. I want to have sales pages. I want to have, a portal where I can upload the videos. And it kind of, I said, I just want to go with an all-in-one solution rather than, get different tools and then just duct tape them. So, but I knew Zenler from a long time and I just went with
Did
New
you try
Zenler.
out any other learning management systems before?
Yes, I have jumped from Teachable to Thinkific to Podia, and Podia was my last learning platform. It was good, but then with Zenler, I was getting more features.
Okay, and that's quite common. I mean, everybody that I've interviewed so far has had a similar experience where they've gone through other learning management systems and then they've and it's a similar situation for myself. I went through 5 or 6 first before I settled as Zenler being my home for my courses. And people do, for whatever reason, come across. And for those of you that are watching this and maybe you're a little bit unfamiliar with Zenler as a platform, it's built and designed for people that don't have coding skills. So that's one of the main features behind it. You don't need to understand in depth any coding. You don't really need to be a graphic designer to be able to create something here to be able to sell it. We just want you to have the skills and use the platform. So, and I think that's why people end up where they are, because it's actually quite, even though there's a lot of features, it's not massively technical to use, I think. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I just built my sales page in about an hour. That's it.
Oh, perfect. That's really, really good. So do you want to just walk us through some of the courses that you teach through your Zenler platform?
Yes, absolutely. Shall I go ahead with screen sharing?
No, we'll do the screen share in a minute. So if you
Okay.
just tell us what it is that you actually teach.
Okay. So I have a couple of courses on New Zenler platform. One is teaching how to build your website. basically using WordPress, and another course focuses on JavaScript. It's basically for coders who want to learn JavaScript, how to use JavaScript and build career out of it.
Perfect. Okay, so within the courses, because often one of the struggles people have when they've got skills and they go, okay, I want to build a course because I want to sell it because it's a great way of earning extra money, rather than just doing. To be able to sell to many people is brilliant. How do you structure your courses? Is there a structure, a process behind it, that you've worked out for yourself that works well for you and your students?
Yes. So basically, whatever process that I'm using in my company to develop a website, the same process I have devised to, structure this course. And while there are, courses that are available, teaching WordPress that takes about 20 hours, 30 hours to teach, my course is just 6 hours of content. And in just 6 hours of content, they go from point A to point B. And it's the same process that we are using to develop websites for our customers also. So there is no fluff, no, straight to the point, and that's it. Okay. You start with nothing, you get a website at the end of the course.
So do you teach by screen share videos, or is there checklists or PDFs or assignments or anything like that?
Yes. So I have, screencasts.
Yep.
Basically point by point, and do that action by action course. And I have given some assignments as well at the end of every session.
Excellent. Okay. So one of the challenges people have with their students, once they've got their students in, is keeping the students engaged. The drop-off rate for people that ignore this point is quite high. So they'll buy a course, they'll maybe do the first lesson, or do a little bit and then forget about it. Do you have a strategy in place that keeps your students engaged to the point where they'll finish the course?
Yes. So what I'm doing, I have added one section in my course where by clicking the link, they can join my WhatsApp group or Telegram group. And every day I'm asking, where are you stuck? What issue you are facing? And suddenly, they wake up from sleep. No, I had this problem yesterday. I must ask, what's the solution? And that way I get a huge, completion rate with my courses.
Wow. So it's using WhatsApp or a Signal group?
Yes, exactly.
Do you use any of the chat functionality within the lessons? Now you can write underneath the lessons themselves and people can start adding in comments and things. Do you use those?
Yes. I'm not using that because I'm mostly teaching in regional language. And whatever questions they want to ask, they don't have, they don't want to type in, the regional language, but they can, type on mobile in using the regional language keyboard. So it's easier for them to use that functionality.
Right. So that's more about understanding your audience.
Exactly.
If it's easier for them to do it that way, as long as they're communicating, we're quite happy. I completely understand that. And that makes quite a lot of sense. Do you have, outside of the WhatsApp group, any form of community with the people that go through?
Yes. So recently I have started using Zenler community. And recently, just about 15 days back, and people are liking it. The simplistic nature of the community. There is no fluff, no, distractions basically. It's just question and answers, thread after thread. So people are basically liking that community feature. And I'm soon going to move to the Zenler community from Facebook group.
Oh, brilliant. And of course, the communities are evolving week on week and more.
Correct.
It's never going to be Facebook for sure, but then I'm not sure we ever want it to be Facebook.
Exactly.
Because our goal, of course, within the Zenler platform is we want people focused on the reason that they're there. Exactly. The reason that they're there is because they need to learn something, and the community area has to facilitate and support that learning. So I get it. You mentioned email earlier.
Yes.
So how are you using the email functionality within Zenler for your students?
So every week I'm, writing either a blog or recording a video, and I'm communicating that blog or video through emails to my students, or whenever there is a new offer. So there are basically weekly emails going to my students. And those mails also are written in regional language. And with earlier tools that I have used, I was not getting open rate. I was getting open rate of 5 to 6% only. But since I switched to New Zenler completely for my emailing solution, I'm consistently getting 23 to 25% open rate.
That's really good. That's really good, actually. And of course, we do want people to open the emails we send. That is the purpose of sending the emails, especially when they're in a paid environment, as in they've paid to be there. And of course, not everybody will be wanting to open everything.
Correct. Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Right.
As long as they're being delivered and as long as the open rate has gone up, that's always a positive sign.
Yes.
It means you've got really active students coming into
Right.
the environment. So yeah, well done on that, because that is always a tough thing to achieve.
Correct.
Okay, so should we share screens now? If you want to share your screen, and
sure.
For those watching, obviously, as we've already heard, we're working in dual language here, or in the native language of the students. So probably a lot of you, including myself, will not understand a word that's on there, but we can look at the format here and see how it's presented on the sales page. Now, this is a really good example because on this particular site, there isn't really a home page. Did you say there was a blog on here, or is the blog hosted elsewhere?
No, blog is hosted on WordPress.
Okay, so Zenler is purely being used as, here's a sales page, let's take the money, let's deliver the course, and now you've added a community feature in.
Yes.
So we don't have to use every single feature that is within the Zenler platform to make it work for your business and still to earn your revenue. So do you want to just walk us through your sales page, please?
Sure. So this is basically a headline. Then sub-headline, I also have embedded a video here. Then I have some of the benefits of the course mentioned here. Now all these blocks are basically inbuilt in Zenler. I just dragged and dropped them here and just changed the text.
Yep.
Then another features. Then a small list of what they are going to achieve from this course. Then they are going to also get the certificate. Then I have included some of the testimonials that I received on WhatsApp and Facebook ads, basically. Then something little about me.
Yep.
Bonuses. Bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3. So 5 bonuses in all. And then the final call to action, the purchase button.
Which is the payment. And for any of you that have watched a couple of these pro user interviews now, you'll see there are some similarities between the sales page here and other sales pages that we've already seen, but there's also some differences. So for example, when you create a course in New Zenler, it already creates a sales page for you, which has a very basic format. So it will have the video at the top, it will have who the instructor is, that element, which is different to the one that we've seen on this particular page. And it will also have the testimonial elements along with the course curriculum. And what I like is that this has followed what is now almost deemed to be an essential structure for a sales page. The video at the top, brilliant. Go down to the key benefits, move down to the features, testimonials. And I really like the WhatsApp testimonials. I think they add a really nice element to it. Then about the creator, the course creator, which is yourself, and you've put that in as a different block than what was the normal one, which is the round circle one with whatever's put in, and it's just pulled through. So you can make that specific to this particular course. And then of course the payment element, which always looks good at the bottom because that's what we want everyone to buy. So really good. You've also, I can see on the bottom of the screen, something popping up all of the time. Do you want to tell me what that is?
Yeah. So I'm using an application called Wiser Notify. So whenever somebody makes a payment, I'm using webhook in New Zenler on enrollment, and that is pushing the data to Wiser Notify, which is again pushing the data here that this person has purchased the course.
Okay. And was that difficult to install within the Zenler platform?
Absolutely not. I just, grabbed the script from that application and put it into the site settings
Right.
in the Zenler Pro.
So reasonably straightforward. You don't need to be a master coder to be able to do that. And although we do have deep integrations with certain things, there are ways of putting pop-ups like this. I have a live chat widget on my one, which is exactly the same thing. You just grab that bit of code, the system that you use will tell you what it is, and you put it into the setting of the site. And hopefully, as long as you're not trying to do too much on there, it will work. And that looks really nice. And this is where they start becoming very individual, these sites, when we start adding elements in that enhance what we're doing. So I really, really like that. So good job. And I'm assuming you've had quite a few students go through this course so far?
Yes, I have almost 2,000 students now in the course.
Excellent. And how long ago did you launch this course?
I launched in last September, but I switched to Zenler about around January.
So 6-7-ish months.
About 6 months, yes.
2,000 students in is pretty.
2,000 students, and none of them have reported any technical issue.
Excellent. That's really, really good. And with the students that have come in, what's their feedback been on the system, how it's delivered? If they found it quite easy to get in, have they been quite happy with how the technical side of Zenler works?
Absolutely, they have been very easy. They are very happy with the technology that I'm using this right now. They are very happy that I switched to the new, learning platform. Earlier, there were a lot of questions like, where is the sign-in button? Like very small questions were there. But now they are very happy with whatever they are getting.
Right. And if you've got 2,000 students in and they're all happy and they're not asking, how do I log in? How do I reset a password? Where do I find this? Which are all time-consuming issues for any business owner. And I've been through systems like that. Then that's really a big thumbs up to Zenler there, because that's delivering what it needs to deliver, which is something easy for students to use. And that's what we want. Okay, do you want to stop sharing your screen for a second?
Sure. Yes.
And let me just ask you one final question. And I like to ask everybody this that comes on, because you're probably a good few steps ahead of some people watching this, as in you've got a course created, you've deployed it, you've made sales, you've got students in it, and you're developing as you go along. So what advice would you have for people that are new course creators that are just starting out? Maybe they've just found Zenler as a platform. They've not really built a course yet, but it's at the front of their mind. This is what they want to do. What's your best bit of advice you can give them?
Something I will, give from my personal experience is that, don't aim for perfection. Use the ready-made templates. Don't try to, make them fancy or anything like that. Simple things work. Don't aim for perfection. Simple things will give you results. Brilliant. So that's what I will tell new course creators.
And I think that takes a big pressure off of people coming in, because they feel they have to get everything perfect, and people will only buy perfection. And I don't think that's true. I think starting out, we can start with what we've got, and we can always go back and improve. It's the internet, so we can always change stuff.
Yes.
So that's brilliant. And thank you so much for that advice. So for me, I just want to say thanks for sharing your experience with Zenler and your site. It's fascinating to see it in a different language and the experience you've had with it and your students. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. This particular pro user interview will go onto our YouTube channel in our tutorial site, and there will be a link to Prathamesh's site as well. So don't worry if you've not gained the link for that site. If you want to go and have a look, the link will be under the videos, so go and peruse it as you wish. Of course, we have a global audience, so we will have an audience that will read in that language too. So that's absolutely brilliant. But so for now, I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you for hosting.
And thank you to everyone that's watching, and I will see you on the next pro user interview. Thanks, everyone.